Time is flying. October 23rd marked the 10th anniversary of Forza Horizon, and over the past week, I jumped in and played every single Forza Horizon game to celebrate its 10th birthday. However, today, I wanted to look back to those older Forza games, Forza Horizon 1, 2, 3, and 4, to see what made them so special, and talk about how the developers could make the perfect Forza Horizon, and maybe, just maybe, have even the smallest of effects on the future of Horizon. And I mean, let's be honest, over the past couple of years, the community's been, we'll call them, wishy-washy, to say the least. Go back in time to when Forza Horizon 4 came out. When that game came out, everyone was like, ugh, Forza Horizon 3 was so much better. Go back a little further in time when Forza Horizon 3 came out, everyone was like, ugh, Forza Horizon 2 was way better. I think you can see a pattern. Go back to when Forza Horizon 2 first came out, everyone was like, ugh, Horizon 1 was way better and was the absolute GOAT. Okay, I added that last bit, but let's be honest, it's true. So it begs the question, does the community just hate change? Are the games just getting worse for each next iteration? Or are people just in love with those older games because of pure nostalgia? Today, we're gonna hopefully figure out an answer. Probably not, but it'll be a fun discussion. However, before we get into today's video, I did want to let you guys know that tomorrow, I am gonna be hosting my first ever game of Forza Horizon 5 Horse. And you guys can be a part of it. All you need to do is join the AR12 Discord server. There's a link in the description down below. And you can choose what type of car we're driving, what class, the budget, and the challenges themselves. P.S. We're also going to be doing more of these, and you can be a part of them too by subscribing. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump into what makes the perfect Forza game. We're gonna talk about everything from like the map, to the cars, to the customization, the online, the innovation, and more. Let's start it off with that first one though, the map. Arguably one of the biggest parts and most impactful parts of any open world racing game has gotta be the map. It influences everything from the cars that are in the game, potential storylines, and so on. Some of the things I would love to see, but will probably never get the chance to see, would be some of the analytics behind the older Forza Horizon games. Specifically, when talking about the map, I'd love to see a heat map for the older game. You'd obviously have to filter out certain things like festival sites, race start locations, and so on. If you don't know what a heat map is, this is a heat map, or I should say these are two heat maps comparing two NHL goalies and where the shots and the goals take place from. The goalie on the left is facing shots majority from right in front of the net, compared to the goalie on the right where it's more spread out, maybe even towards the back and on the left and on the right. Something like this would be super interesting to see for the older Forza games because it would show you where people hang out the most and what people are sort of kind of doing in the game. For example, if you jump back to Forza Horizon 1, I guarantee you there would be some red spots around Red Rock Canyon, the golf course, and maybe even possibly the dam on the right-hand side of the map. In Forza Horizon 2, I guarantee there are some red spots at the docks, the airport again, and probably even the castle at the top of the map. If you jump to Forza Horizon 5, though, it kind of becomes kind of hard to predict where players are hanging out. Like, there's probably people on the highway and the festival drive strip just doing like drag racy things, and there's probably also people on the volcano just doing like drift runs up and down the mountain. Other than that though, it's kind of hard to figure out where players are. And if you ask me, that's for one reason in particular. Although the Forza Horizon 5 map is enormous, a lot of the map kind of blends together, or at least it does in your head probably, and kind of all feels like one space. Compare that to a game like Forza Horizon 3 where you had very distinct locations like the Outback, Surfer's Paradise, Byron Bay, the Great Ocean Road, and so on. You had these very distinct places, and when you went to each of them, they felt unique. And in FH5, kind of don't get that. Or I should say you don't get that right now because you sometimes do. For example, the living world is a great tool that the developers have used in the past to make certain areas feel special, whether it be putting a Christmas tree up in Mulegé or building out a skate park at the stadium. Both of those events felt awesome, and I guarantee increased the player counts for those particular areas. But if they're not around, where do people go? Moving away from the map, let's talk about the fundamentals of the game and how the games actually work, specifically grinding. Yeah, this is going to be controversial. There's a whole bunch of different racing games out there with a ton of different ideas. And it's true, a game like Forza Horizon 5, the grinding's probably too easy. A game like Gran Turismo 7, the grinding's probably a little too hard. Here's the thing though, I think it's a lose-lose regardless of what any developer chooses for how much grinding they want in their game. Make the grinding too easy, for example, and players have completed the game within a week and they've probably moved on. Make the grinding too hard though, players are frustrated within a week and they've also moved on. So the question is, how can any developer balance grinding out parts or cars or money or so on? Not just during the first week, not just during the first month, but during the entire life of the game. And that is a very difficult question to answer. Forza Horizon is a sandbox, and it always has been, similar to BeamNG, a game that's designed for you to do anything, drive anything, go anywhere, and do whatever you want. And it's never hid the fact that it is that. However, could it be better? Probably. How? Again, that's a question that's really hard to answer. Let's move it away from the grinding though in the question, because I think it has an impossible solution. Let's move it along to the cars and the customization in Forza Horizon 5. And this is gonna get controversial again. Forza Horizon 5 does a really, really good job of both cars and customization. And if you ask me, oh, it's gonna be bad, Forza Horizon 5 has the best car list with branded customization of any car game out there right now. There is no other racing game out there today that has the same vast car list that FH5 has, with as much variety as the FH5 car list has, with the branded customization from like legit wide body companies, rim companies, rear wings, and so on. Now, before you lose your mind in the comments, I can already see you typing down there. It's not perfect, and a lot of games do a lot of other things a lot better. Take Gran Turismo 7, for example. One of the things I love in that game is the concept car. I love how, if you want to, you can drive cars that are so new, they haven't come out yet, and probably won't come out, but that's still cool. I love that about Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo 7 also does customization really, really well. Not so much in the sense of like branded body parts, but in the ability to customize the parts that are on the car. Being able to just toss a generic wide body on pretty much any car in the game is awesome, because it can give you some extra performance if that's the way you want to go. Or if style's the name of the game, there are a ton of cars that have like generic front lips, or the ability to swap out end plates on the generic rear wing, for example. And don't even get me started on the window decals. I've literally been saying this since like Forza Horizon 2. I'm still saying it. And then you can jump over to a game like Need for Speed, for example. Even Need for Speed Heat, and leading into the future with Need for Speed Unbound, they do customization better than anyone. Sure, they might not have a huge car list like Forza Horizon or Gran Turismo has, but the cars that are in there are crazy and all serve a purpose. Say, for example, the Bosuzoku exhaust that were just revealed in Need for Speed Unbound. That's a thing in real life, and although it might not be your taste, having it represented in a video game is always cool. Or just take a look at the glass spoilers or the insane branded wide bodies. The cars in Need for Speed are genuinely just pieces of art. Now, I don't expect Forza Horizon to go that far, but I would like to see them fixing obvious holes in the car list. For example, a modern-day Dodge Ram, or a Nissan I can't pronounce it, okay? I'm really embarrassed that I can't say it. Never mind. Let's move it on to online, though, and specifically the online for FH5. And let's be honest, a lot of the onlines for the older Horizon games are all fairly similar, but FH5 had a unique problem. It was a massive flop at launch. It was literally one of the most hyped racing games of the time. Everybody was indoors because of lockdown, and nobody could play with their friends. You know how growing up, you probably heard your parents say your first impression makes all the difference, and it did for FH5. And although, yes, it's possible to get those people back who you lost along the way, it is very, very difficult. And although I know it's not exactly the same situation, Fortnite went through a similar story. When the game first launched, it wasn't actually received super well. The original game wasn't even a battle royale game. The original game was players versus zombies. The original trailer from like, what, 10 years ago or something is still online, and you can watch it, and you'll probably be confused and be like, wait, that's Fortnite? Yes. But eventually, the developers pivoted and launched that battle royale mode, which blew up the game, and for a short time, it was the biggest game in the entire world. So although, yes, it's possible to get those players back who you might have lost at launch, it is very difficult to do so and would require the developers to take some big risks. And for right now, they're playing it really safe. Which leads perfectly into my last point, innovation. Every Forza game before it brought something new and groundbreaking to the table and launched it as its staple feature. Obviously, Forza Horizon 1, it was the first open world Forza game that was kind of just mind-blowing in and of itself. FH2 brought this robust online system that you could play with your friends super easily. FH3 introduced Forzathon, FH4 introduced Seasons, and FH5 introduce the event lab. And if you ask me personally, and again, I know this might be controversial, but I think the event lab is the most important feature in Forza Horizon 5. More important than the map, more important than any expansion, more important than any given car. The event lab for me is number one. Event lab is an unbelievably powerful tool. There are an infinite number of things for you to go in and build and create. There is literally a full-on or nearly full-on coding language built into the event lab, and it's just insane what you can make in there. And it's an awesome, awesome feature, and the developers are doing a pretty good job of supporting it with new props or new rules being added into the event lab. I would like more of those, please. But what I would really, really like would be a better way to search and find them. There are so many people out there making so many incredible things that they've poured hours and hours into, and it's impossible to find. If it wasn't for you guys sending me your event labs, I would have missed out on so many incredible maps. But that gets me thinking, how many maps have I already missed out on just because I can't find them? Instead of featuring a handful of cool maps every month in the festival playlist, why don't we just have a better way to find them overall so everybody can experience them whenever they want? So all things considered, how can you make the perfect Forza game? That's still a really good question, and I don't think I have an answer for it. The only thing I would say would be building upon the things we already have, expanding upon those things even further, and then not forgetting the key thing, which is innovating. Taking risks and trying something new. I think the developers have been playing it kind of safe the past couple of years, and I would love to see them reach out, try something new. Need for Speed did it with Need for Speed Unbound in their anime characters, and it might not be for everyone, and we'll see if it pays off, but I'd love to see FH5 try something as well. Who knows? We'll have to see. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll see you soon with some more. Be on the lookout for FH5 Horse soon. See you then. Bye.